The job of the metabolism is to measure the outside world and respond. Think about a barometer that is under stress a lot, and you push it into the red zone, and then that barometer explodes and breaks because there's too much pressure on the system. So you see here that there's an optimal function for the metabolism, and then a normal function. And then as stress gets a little bit more, if the stress is short-lived, it's called eustress. And this is a very positive type of stress. But many of us are pushing our barometers into the distress, dysfunction, and disease zone. When your metabolism starts to get under stress, it goes through a very predictable process. First, it stays normal, then it moves into compensation, and next it moves into resistance, and then finally dysfunction, and then disease. Well, when you transition from normal metabolic function, healthy metabolic function, into metabolic compensation, where you're sort of getting into this eustress / distress zone, what you will see is very predictable. Hunger and cravings mainly begin to go out of check, and energy levels begin to change. Typically, this is not an issue. All it means is that when you see and feel hunger, energy, and cravings going out of check, then you know you're in metabolic compensation and it might be time to change. When heck goes out of check, it may be a good time to change. You cannot stay in a state of excess heck being out of check for long. Otherwise, you will compensate with increased food intake. That's not good. So this compensation zone is not a bad thing. It's an indication, though, that you may need to change things up soon. Otherwise, you're going to stop responding appropriately to what we're doing. Now, when you get into resistance, this is when sleep changes and mood changes as well, and you may begin to see exercise performance and exercise recovery issues showing up. You may even start to begin to see some changes in libido as well, and some menstrual issues as well. This is meaning that things are getting a little bit too far. You've pushed your stress a little bit too far, and we're really going to have to do some things to get you back to balance. And then finally, dysfunction is when you get into this dysfunctional metabolic state where now you're having signs and symptoms, achy joints, autoimmune conditions going on, disease processes happening, libido really going out of check, potentially losing erections, all of these kinds of things. Menses definitely going out of check. And I want you to be very clear about these different steps. Remember, your metabolism is not simply a calculator. It's not simply a chemistry set. It's both and more. It's more like a thermostat and a stress barometer, and you need to know when your metabolism is under stress.